We're in Holyoke, Massachusetts on a full street tour of Essex Street. It just became part of it, his National Register Historic District as of the year 2023. And Essex Street starts by where the Far Alpaca Mill number 3 is, above the first level canal. And there's a lot of intense structures as you go by, institutions and apartments and homes. And in order to be on National Register, you have to have some pretty nice homes on it, and they do. Now it crosses both High and Maple, then it gets to quieter neighborhoods. All right, pause it. Okay, to our left-hand side, there's the Maplewood Hotel. The front and the side are considered to be on the National Register as a separate entry. And his this was the part of Arthur Baby's charity to his friends and his family. He took over the Baby Holbrook and the Baby Welber Mills, paper and woolen mills, respectively. He made a lot more money, and he was so gracious to his friends, and he wanted a Holyoke home for himself. He started this Maplewood Hotel. It's gorgeous on both sides, especially its front on Maple Street. Now in this corner on the right hand side is the home of the Elks, or the former home of the Elks. It moved up in 1970s to Ashley Reservoir. And then on our right hand side, I'll flip over here so you can see it better. You see the library, the modern park towards your right, and the old park towards your left. It's from 1902. The park around it, Library Park, is well loved because it's quite gorgeous. And there's a lot to see at this place. It has its own tour, has built up by the archivist of the Holyoke History Room and by me. And you could take this tour as a group with a tree tour person too. And he does all the trees in the library. He tells which is which. They're very nice looking trees, of course. And once we get going in a straight line again, we're going to cross a lot of apartments that have been rehabbed recently. On the left is going to be the Essex, which has been bought out by Wayfinders, and they want to add it to the Wayfinders project number 2. They've made project 1 on the right hand side with the Carlson, the Randolph, a new building this corner, and then the Providence Hospital Nursing Home on your right hand side was added to. And then it starts gorgeous homes. We just crossed Daniel Newton's houses. A lot of these houses have a unique look to them, but they also have a lot of tenement houses around. You can tell there was a lot of big mills and a lot of mill owners. The mill owners back in the 1860s and 70s had to live close to their businesses because there's no cars. So you have gorgeous homes along with tenement houses for the workers. Okay, and you're crossing Pine Street, and right here on your right hand side is a very gorgeous home. I visited that home in its yard a couple years ago. You can see it's made in the stick Victorian sub-style, and they're fixing up, they tell me, and it's gorgeous. And I hope they do the landscape too to make it even more gorgeous. They have been doing a lot. They took down the fence that was around it, and that probably added to it quite a bit. And Essex Street up to here is still part of it's still a part of that district. I told you it has one more block to go, and so you can see some of the key features, but some of the features go down some of these side streets too. So Essex Street, now we're going to cross a very busy street, Beach Street. And up in this direction, you have a lot more residential. And the residential is such that it goes beautiful homes and tenement homes all mixed together for the same reason I just mentioned. And so the district ends now, but you have on the left-hand side the Strauss house. He owned a paper mill down in the canals. And you also have a beautiful home across from it, both in a neo-Tudor style. You can see what you're looking at. This one's the better looking of the two by far. It's been fixed up a lot around the way. And so these homes are gorgeous. Okay, on the left-hand side, really facing Linden Street, but also on the corner of Essex, is 181 Linden Street. This was from 1890. It was made for one of the paper mill owners, and then it went through. By now, 8 families have lived in here through the 134 years. And I did one whole full hour presentation just on this house here. It's a gorgeous house. Used to have a tower on its side, and also you can see the yard around it. It's fairly nice. It was an Olmsted design yard. That part has pretty much gone away, but it's still an important location. But you can see why people like Essex Street. It's one of the prettier sites, east to west streets, among the grid of streets here, because you see a tower on this beautiful Victorian home, and then you see a neo-Tudor home just beyond that. And so for that reason, Essex Street has these little gems along the way that people don't really expect. All right, and Essex Street ends at Pleasant Street, which is the start of where the Forestdale Cemetery is. And so it's gone from First Level Canal to the Forestdale. So thank you for coming on this Essex Street tour with us.